Alright, guys. It is time for the show match of a lifetime. That's right. It's the Foreigner House with players like Shopify Rebellion, Scarlett, up against the best Koreans, or at least some of the very best. I don't think Maru was playing in this, but a bunch of the very, very much top 10 ranked Koreans in the world. herO in the bottom right side. Now, what's so interesting about this is foreigners like Scarlett, she hails from Canada. And basically, because those people are very lazy, they don't work hard, they don't practice, they've got a lot of privileges, and they simply aren't as good as the superior Korean StarCraft race. So herO here is going to be standing as an example of a Korean trains hard, practices hard since he was a young kid, grinded for years and years, 12 hours a day in Korean team houses, and he's playing up against a Scarlett who obviously lazy, obviously doesn't put in practice. Oh, go play Dota. Oh, go play some Brood War, screw around. Oh, I'll play 2 hours a week. You know, so there's a big difference between the work ethic. Scarlett, a many-time champion in the WCS Welfare League. herO, a champion in the Global StarCraft League, the most elite league in all of StarCraft 2 history. So, seriously though, obviously I'm memeing a little bit here, but there have been, it's died down a bit, but there was many years of Korean elitism in the fan base, and mostly the non-Korean fan base, funnily enough. This isn't like the Koreans are like, we're better than you guys suck. There was people who were just like, ugh, foreigners are so lazy, they don't practice enough, blah, blah, blah. And of course, I mean, it's the classic thing, right, where you've got kind of like semi-retired players who are just big streamers who are kind of screwing around, still show up to tournaments, have big cushy, you know, team salaries, and people would hyper focus on these foreigners because they'd get a lot of the limelight and a lot of the attention and go, hey, why isn't Idra practicing as hard, or Demuslim, or whoever else is like a really big streamer back in the day, whereas, you know, young Maru at 12 years old is sitting there in the house for 12 hours a day playing. And people would legitimately be like, how dare you give them their own leagues? They're all bad. They don't practice hard enough. They're not as good. They don't care. And I mean, obviously, there's always examples of people who don't train as hard or as long. But it's been the classic rivalry. And because the Koreans were just so dominant, you know, it really felt like you had this StarCraft scene that was on its little first baby legs, baby steps, kind of waddling across the room, stumbling like when you watch a child first figuring out how to walk. And pros kind of coming out of that and really having to figure the game out on their own. And yeah, they joined like an American team or a European team and practiced with some other players who'd played Brood War for many years, but they weren't pro players in Brood War. You know, the Korean guys were playing in team houses with people like Slayer's Boxer, who'd been famous for over 10 years playing StarCraft 1, figuring out the best mechanical techniques, figuring out mental strategies for navigating competition, how to scout, how to counter your opponent, and all this sort of stuff. And so they had this amazing pool of shared knowledge, and in these team houses where they'd teach each other this and they'd share that experience. And you really get to see the difference between a bunch of isolated foreigners who are improving at the game individually on their own, and a bunch of Koreans who are working together, coaching each other, helping each other, and really putting in the time, the commitment, the passion within an infrastructure which is all centered around this one mega city, Seoul, where they have a giant league, the Global StarCraft League, a bunch of other tournaments in between as well. So it was this kind of beautiful thing to see how good the Koreans got at StarCraft. But over the years, we have seen the foreigners close that gap partially. And this show match is between the Foreigner House over there. This is about a month before I'm casting this, that this was played. We finally got our hands on the replays. Hosted by Olimoleague, by the way. Big thanks to them. We got these replays off their Patreon. So we've got Scarlett, Reynor, Rex, and someone else. Maybe Estrella? I think Estrella's there. Up against herO, herO, Ragnarok, and someone else. I can't quite remember who. But very strong lineup for both sides. Let's talk about the game. herO went out with the Reacted Marines and tried to do some damage, and now has gone for sneaky cloaked Banshees. If Scarlett sees this, it's really good for her. Did she notice it though? The Marines distract her on the right side, so she might not have noticed that. She's not building spores. That's a big problem. She sees all these Marines. She thinks it's a 2-1-1. Oh, this is such a cheeky build from herO. He's making it look like it's either a 2-on-1 or a 3-Rex. The Banshee comes in, she starts spores, but that Cloak's already kicking in, and bam, Cloak goes in, and that Spore Crawler is still 13 seconds from finish, so he can take out a whole bunch of the drones. Nice damage coming in for herO here. Will she transfuse any of those? Looks like she decides, nah, not... Oh, she transfused one of them, actually. But of course, all that does is buy it an extra second. It's not very effective. Here we go. Banshee is going to take a volley there as the Spore Crawler finishes, but does get on out. Nice start for herO. 5 drone kills. He's got a very quick third command center. Well, not crazy quick, but considering he's gone fast cloak Banshee, he's a pretty quick one. Going into bio behind it. Double upgrades for Scarlett, though. So she's actually got the faster upgrade timings. Her lair has still not started. Neither has her Baneling Nest, though. She needs to get that lair and then Baneling Nest going as quickly as possible. Getting up to 3 gases now. The lair does start up. Banshees come in. They're going to focus down 2 drones. Does take a couple hits on the Banshee, but so far, very good damage. As long as Scarlett keeps her creep spread up while handling this, she should be okay. And she takes a bit more damage, up to 5 barracks for Cure right now. Now, the way this works is we've got all 4 players playing best of 1 matches. For those who don't know, best of 1 matches. And after that, there's going to be a best of 5. So this is like just basically 4 matches. And whoever wins these 4 matches, whoever gets the lead, gets a 1-0 advantage in, I think it's a best of 7, actually. But it's all-kill format. So they do another round of all-kill format after this round 1 game. Round 1 series of matches. So if the Korean team wins this, they only need to kill 3 of their opponent's players, whereas the foreigners would need to kill 4 in the all-kill format. All-kill means that your player stays in. So if Scarlett beats Cure, she stays in. That's, of course, in the following round, though. In this round, it's just a single match between the 2 players, and then it moves on to the next 2 players versing each other as preordained. Banshees on the left side, nice little Marine tank stack on the right. 1-1, combat shields is on the way. Man, that's a lot of unupgraded Marines. Feels kind of awkward. The Lings. Oh, Cure! Oh, no! Cure may have messed up, but she doesn't have that much at home. She's going to do some really good damage. Oh, the Marines on top of the ramp, though. Pretty good angling. They do deal with those Zerglings very well. Oh, some Marines stray forward and go down. The Banshees aren't doing anything on the left side of the map either. Lings do get 14 SCVs, a bunch more exposed on that third base. Banshees coming in now. But we've got, oh my lord, she's on 12 queens. She's going up to 13 queens. Another bunch of SCVs goes down. And Cure with a really clever build order. He needs to do massive damage with this timing. Her Bane speed, though, is almost finished. She's got 2 Lings and Banes building. She's got to be real careful. She cannot fight him right now. He's got a bigger army. She's just got to buy time for herself. Get these queens over here and use those to push back the medevacs. Okay, those queens coming on in. They're going to start to push that back. She's going for it way too early. Oh, wait, she brings in a link flank. Will that work? I think this is a bit ambitious for Scarlett. That being said, she takes out the tanks. And she will have to back off now, but he might be able to chase in there. Was this an overextension for Scarlett? It may have been. The queens are transfusing quite well. She's got to wait for that stim to wear out. There we go. Queen's doing a really good job. Tanking. Stim runs out. He has to stim again. That's heavy damage on the Marines, but without Banelings, she can't fight into it. Scarlett fighting this a little bit too early. More Banelings are coming in. Baneling speed's done, but it's only 6 Banelings. She can't filter into this. She's got to mass up and go in all at once with the Banes. She's miles ahead in this game. The third command center lifted back into the main base. Cure is basically all in on almost pure Marine right now. All she needs to do is keep making Banelings. She's not morphing Banes right now. Scarlett's not morphing Banelings right now. A crucial mistake. She's not morphing Banelings. Oh no! She had this game in the bag, but without Banelings. I don't know if she's got the numbers. Look at the Marine ball. Heavily damaged. The Lings and Queens taking them down. The medevacs are out of energy. This is an just absolute all-in maneuver. Cure needs to win the game right now. He manages to bust through her Queens. And Scarlett not morphing extra Banelings, biting her in the butt very badly. If he gets in this base, he is back in the lead because he can deny her third and her fourth. The ball of Marines is uncontested. Scarlett, oh, huge mistake for her to not be morphing those extra Banelings. This is a massive situation for Cure because he was so dead from that Ling run by. This was his only play, was an all-in attack on the third base. He hasn't been building SCVs. He's just going for broke. Baneling's going to morph. The Queen's trying to buy time. Banes roll in. Good pickup. The Lings have to kill the tanks, but they're not going to be able to in time. Banelings roll into the tank. The Queens and the Lings try to get it. They do take it down. Scarlett needs to be morphing more Banelings, more Banelings, more Banelings. But another tank coming in. So many Marines up on top of a rally, and I think he's already in too good of a position. The Marines focus the Banes down. One of them does get in and connect. Cure, nice decisive counterattack. Scarlett navigated that really well, but not morphing enough Banelings and fighting a little bit too eagerly at that third base. I would have liked to see her do a lot more run-bys with that Zergling heavy style, bide her time, and just keep on pulling back and giving up ground. GG, well played though. Cure gets the first map. All right. Going into the next map, we've got a big one here. Team Foreigner having Reynor go forth on Data C up against herO in the bottom left side there. Data C, a very good map. Very back and forth PvZs we sometimes see that Protoss can defend 4 bases very easily. But as the players start moving out to 5th bases and taking the corners, that's where things get very, very exposed. We're going to just leave the best of 7 scoreboard up. So, because remember, it is kind of 4 matches. I mean, doesn't really matter what number we show, right? I guess we could do like this, best of 3. Doesn't really matter. I'll leave it as a best of 7 since it is 4 matches. I don't know, best of 5. Obviously, the 4 matches are played no matter what, so we'll see how it goes. Either way, Reynor is going to go hatchery first up here. And herO on the other side of things is just going for that gateway on the low ground. No scout for herO, so this is going to give him a very efficient start. And it looks like he's going gas first. His gate is actually pretty late, 47 seconds, so not the fastest gateway. And he's actually only got 14 probes on minerals right now, so he's really prioritizing his gas income. Oh, what's this? Oh, he's going to proxy Stargate. Oh, okay. Very tricky build from herO here. Oh, this is going to be very, very nasty. Okay, so he goes Nexus, mines 5 minerals, gets the Cyber Core, and then we'll see a second gas going up in the main. He can build another structure there when he's ready. So yeah, 1 probe, and he'll go second gas here. And then he'll go for that second pylon over here. Or does he just build it right on the watchtower, perhaps? Be a bit of an odd choice to do that. Should see, there we go. Moves it over, just a little slight delay on that second pylon. But he will be able to go for a very quick Oracle. And there's no sign of this for Raynor, who doesn't check for the pylon in the main base, so he doesn't know about this at all. That Oracle will arrive very early. Now, it can go really well if you micro that Oracle just super tight. The problem is the Zerg will very quickly stack his drones, will Raynor, and then run them away. So even though the Oracle gets in there almost always before the Spore Crawl is done, if they quickly run their drones, you might only get 3 or 4 kills, in which case the fact that the Zerg can then go find your Stargate and kill that with a couple Zerglings makes it not nearly as worthwhile. Now, of course, you don't want to send the probe home because it might get spotted by an Overlord, which is going to tip off your opponent to what you're up to. And no way! No way! Reynor knows. He must know that this is a habit of heroes to go for this build, and he sees it. Oh, he doesn't react, though. Okay, there we go. He's going to react now. Oh, this is so bad for herO. Oh, man. Okay, the Adept will go over and try and defend that, and should be able to defend the first couple of Zerglings. There's Fallings going there. Still got a probe nearby, so we can repower it as well. I mean, this might actually be a bit of bait. The Adept can kill these Zerglings in time. Nice move by Reynor. Moves to the side there. The Adept is going to go backwards now. Stalker's coming out at home as well. And he's still probing up pretty well. So as much as losing the Stargate sucks, I would say the main problem, besides, of course, potentially losing it early on, is that afterwards, when it's depowered, even if your Oracles are still alive, you can't build Phoenix reactively. So if they go Stargate, that causes some problems. Spore Crawl is not already in the main, but he's building it in the natural and using 3 Queens in the main to defend. Oh, but good movement by herO. He's like, yeah, I know you'll be ready. I'm just going to move around and be patient with this Oracle, building a second one. And he builds a gateway, but is that solid? I feel like there's a gap between those two. I could be wrong. But no, looks like it is. Oh, yeah, there is a gap. He's going to leave an Adept in the gap between the gateway and the Stargate. Oh, this is the most herO build ever. He's got the Twilight Council and a 3rd gateway going up as well. So he's probably going to go Glaive Adepts and just start doing like constant Glaive Adept Oracle aggression. He's got a 3rd base as well, which will be fantastic. We did mess up the scoreboard there, didn't we? There we go. Thankfully, Twitch chat called it out like 2 minutes ago, and I finally adjusted it. My bad. All right, the Oracles come in. They don't really find any damage just yet. Okay, 3rd Nexus under assault. Not many units at home right now. Oh, he's got an Adept there. Warp gates are finishing. Doesn't want to lose the units as they warp in. Well, he lets the Lings into his base, but there's one guy who's kind of comfortable with letting Lings in his base because he does it all the time as an F2 user. He's going to be okay. Reynor only gets 1 probe, but the Oracles both had to turn their lasers on. And he's not turning them off right now. Whoa, herO wasting a lot of energy on those Oracles. That's painful. He's going to go blink behind this, so not bothering with the Glaive Adepts. But maintaining that position just makes this awkward for Reynor. He doesn't know exactly what's going to be happening. Of course, that was an F2 on that Adept. That's why it's out of position. Had to send it back there. Lair, Roach Warren, quick Evo Chamber all on the way right now. He'd like to get some creep heading down to that bottom right side, I think. Oracle's just rotating around, not taking too much damage. 47 probes versus 50. There's no probes building right now, and this is a 5-gate blink attack that can come off of this third base, so herO very much focusing on keeping the aggression going. He does not want to give Reynor space to regrow in this game. Oracle's coming forward. Stalker Adepts doing what they can. Oh, okay, the Adept shading on past. Oracles do a Revelation. They do take out a Creep Tumor, but the shade does get cancelled at the last second. Of course, herO, such a weirdo with his control groups, always changing what's on number 1 and number 2 to what he's most recently looking at so that he can double tap those. You're going to notice if you look at these numbers, they're always changing what's on those keys and not really using them like a regular player uses control groups, more like using it just as an army jumping to key. So we could double tap that to jump to where those units are. Nice run by from Reynor here on the shield battery third. Got to A-move those probes if you want to keep that alive. But, ooh, Adept shading past at the same time. herO's going for broke right now. There are roaches on top of it. They will shut this down, but the Queens are in trouble. The Stalkers, they managed to take out one of the Queens potentially here. Yep, she does go down, as does a whole bunch of drones. Adept's even shaded into the main base. 10 drones going down. Reynor's in trouble right now. It's a big problem for Reynor. Oh man, Scarlett was in such a good position in game 1. On the other hand, the Lings in the main could make this worthwhile, but no probes popping up yet on that unit's kill tab. Probes and a Stalker are going to deal with these Lings as well. herO navigating the chaos with real poise, but this could be an issue for him as these Stalkers do get surrounded. No, looks like he's going to be able to blink back towards the battery. Does lose one of the Stalkers, just a matter of if he's watching or not. Does lose a second one. Meanwhile, Stalkers over on that right side continuing to skirmish with the Queen. 65 drones and 2 more on the way. Reynor still unable to get towards a 4th base. But only 6 gateways for the Protoss. +1 attack just starting. 7th gateway as well going down. Infestation pit for Reynor. I think he's just going to try and turtle up to lurkers in this game. I think he's like, look, you're just trying to kill me. I just need to survive and get to lurkers. And then your ground army just becomes absolute trash. 4th base for Protoss goes up a little bit earlier. I do like this 4th base on this side. It's starting to grow on me a little bit. Just try and secure that entire corner for yourself. Stalkers clean up all of those Zerglings. 10 more Roaches are on the way. No real Ravagers yet. As I say that, he morphs one. His own 4th base is on the way for the Zerg player. And as that Infestation pit finishes, do we see immediate Hive Tech? I feel like he probably wants to spend most of his money on Roach Ravager right now. Hive's on the way as well as +2 range. Oh, Ravager focus fire. Very nicely done by herO. Takes down a Ravager. Roaches for Reynor though. He knows if you're not taking the bottom base, you must be taking the top one. Gets a kill on the cannon. Cancels the shield battery. He's going to find a few probes in the open. There is a lot of Stalkers though. Stalkers do really great versus Roaches in the open ground off creep. But he's going to try and grab whatever he can. herO with some very good blink micro. Tried to chase him down. But of course, once Blink's exhausted, if you use it aggressively, you need to start stutter stepping backwards, and so those Roaches do all right. Reynor trying to attack right now. Oh man, he's doing some cute multi-prong. Actually manages to put herO on the defensive, but of course herO does have the more nimble composition. Hydra Den going down behind this. It's going to be a very late Lurker Den, so that Hive isn't really going to give him any usage until his Lurker Den's finished, and that's when he can start the real upgrades. Stalkers blink forward. They try to get a Queen transfuse, though. Does make that very costly. Roaches going to get a Stalker kill. Nice pick off. Still has the gateway and the Stargate in the bottom right. I can't believe it, man. He's sending Roaches to deal with it, but 8 Roaches versus what? 6 Stalkers, 4 Zealots. He's up to 10 gateways now, is herO. herO just swarming him. Oh, 8 Roaches. Very nice. Does lose 2 Stalkers there, though. Trying to trap those units. Reynor trying to gather up his defenses. Lurker Den's on the way. Trying to add some Hydra upgrades also. The Stalkers with that range. The Stasis traps to fall back on as well. Very effective aggression from herO. The worry is that there's no transition. There's no Robo, so there's no Warp Prism. There's no Zealot run-bys happening just yet. There's still the Watchtower being held in the top left for Reynor. Reynor's still got a good amount of map control. He's getting to Hive Tech Lurkers. herO needs to make something happen, and he needs to do it soon. Ooh, good Stasis trap, but only gets a few of the Roaches and Lings. Stalkers do clear up the Roach on this Watchtower. He's going to start harassing over there as well. There is a pack of Roaches there, though. They're in an awkward position. 9 Stalkers versus 9 Roaches. Stalkers do, of course, win that fight. Stalker Zealot still poking it on the right side. He's going to at least try and trap those Roaches and Zerglings on the way out. But herO's got to be getting desperate now. He still doesn't have a Robo or a way in here. He's trying to just win with Stalker Zealot and Micro. But Reynor has always got an abundance of units. He's really playing a very safe style. He's making Lurkers now. And with only, what, 2 Oracles for detection, Nothing but Zealot Stalker. DT Shrine even goes down. Dude, herO is just playing an absolutely YOLO style. Blinking into Lurkers. That is not the play, my friend. He does pull back relatively quickly. Stalker Zealot on the left side is going to be fighting versus the Roach Ling. He does all right there. He's going to try and use his mobility maybe to sandwich that army. That could be a really good move. He blinks forward here. But Reynor says, who's sandwiched, bitch? Oh, damn. Very nice moves. He turns the sandwich back on herO with his own quick maneuver. And herO, oh, big overextension for him. The Lurker Roach Hydra with +2, murdering the Zealot Stalker with only +1. That is a delicious engagement for Reynor, who's now got his Lurker upgrades kicking in. That's right. He's adding melee upgrades to add, strength to Zerglings that'll help this. Lurkers on the right. Lurker Roach Hydra on the left as well. herO unable to find an opening. He starts a triple robo transition, but that is a very late transition. He isn't going there because he wanted to go there. He's going there because he's being forced to. And against a guy who's already up on 9 Lurkers, adding his second Lurker upgrade, the movement speed and burrow speed upgrade, Adaptive Talons. Roach Hydra Lurker pushing on the left. You don't want to be fighting into that ramp against these 10 range Lurkers, dude. Those Lurkers are deadly. Army does try to regroup there a little bit for herO. herO does have a nice economy, 70 probes, 5 bases. He's trying to make triple robo transition, but he's only on 3 gases though. So I'd actually like to see him add a few more gases and a robo bay. These robos are also very exposed. He's got to maintain map control. If Reynor pushes him, herO's dead. I really think Reynor could unsiege, unburrow, go across the map and just win the game right now. He's playing very cautiously. He doesn't know exactly what herO's got out there. But he's just going to start to push back the Zealot Stalker. The units loss tab is in his favor considerably. He's maintaining economic parity and doing this at the same time. Crushes the Stalkers. The Lurkers are going to siege up on that right side and start to try and break the cannons. One of those will go down, but the cannon's taking massive damage as well. Stalkers push back on the right side. herO needs to get out of there. He's trying to build Immortals. He's got a shield battery here to fall back on. Needs to try and use battery overcharge potentially to buffer that position. Looks like the Lurkers pulled back on the right, on the top left, but one of them did go down. And oh my lord, if these robos fall, that is it. Yeah, that's going to be it. Reynor just withstanding the Zealot Stalker aggression. Lurkers on the right side still doing all right. With the rally, I think the Queen's the Hydra. These Lurkers will deal with that. Lurkers on the left side dealing with the Sentry Zealot, and herO is flailing around right now. Wacky waving inflatable Protoss man. You can tell he just doesn't really have any path to victory anymore. A desperate Zealot Stalker poke runs into a pack of Lurkers. Ain't gonna find much at all. Meanwhile, his production, his economy is being torn asunder. Yeah, this was a fantastic execution by Reynor, just not giving him any openings. And scouting for the proxy Stargate at the start, I think really putting him in a good stead to make sure he was on top of everything. I do like the follow-up gateway and the fact that he's maintained that proxy gate all game long. It's a testament to how good herO's map control is. But Reynor was happy to just defend, turtle on up, trying to now hang on with DTs, but an Overseer comes in. Reynor cleans those as well. And this is a devastating victory there. Reynor withstands the onslaught of herO's aggression. Does tie up the series 1-1. All right. Let's go, guys. The series continues with a Zerg versus Zerg. We've got Onside Gaming's Rex in the top right, the Taiwanese Beast playing for the Foreigners, up against the man who's, of course, made it to the GSL Grand Finals. It's Alpha Rex Ragnarok. Ragnarok's got to be the favorite going into this, but I think Rex ZVZ and ZVT is way better than his ZVP. I think this man has been so traumatized by playing Haas over and over again in Taiwan that he's a little bit afraid in his ZVP. But in his ZVZ, very confident. ZVT is probably his best matchup in my opinion. He's really solid there. Gets to just exert his mechanics, play a more standard game style. But ZVZ on this map, especially against Ragnarok. Ragnarok's such an aggressive, timing attack-oriented player. Lots of really good build orders and all that sort of stuff. He's really very organized. He's super organized in how he plays, right? So it feels like when you watch Dark or Raynor, they're a bit intuitive. They make really crazy comebacks very easily and that sort of stuff. Whereas a guy like Ragnarok, it feels like, comes in with a really good plan and beats his opponent with the strategy, or at least gets a big lead with the strategy, and then he can finish him off with macro. He can play, pretty solid styles. It's just it's not always necessary. Sometimes he just busts them with roaches and knocks them out. Lots of Terrans have fallen victim to Ragnarok this season. But even Protoss players were struggling. He knows, you know, he really studies his opponent's builds and he finds the weaknesses. So Rex so far opening very standard. They've both kind of mirrored each other. But at the moment they, you know, they're going to no doubt diverge in the near future and start skirmishing. Inside out's a medium-sized map. Once you break these rocks down, pushing on this base becomes very quick. Vice versa over here as well. A little bit more gas for Rex right now, so he could start link speed earlier. Let's see if he starts that the second he has 100. Yes, he does. He's going to have about a 5-second lead on link speed there. Not bad. And one worker pulled off gas on both sides. So this is about as standard as can be. Neither player is showing any deviations, except Ragnarok's Overlord is really late, actually. So he's a little bit behind on these next few drones. I think he forgot that Overlord, to be honest. He's going to move out and take his third base. Rex's third is a little bit tighter here. Going down. Should be going down already. Rex actually floating a little bit of money. Does still end up a second earlier. And going to be going for third hatchery versus third hatchery. Immediate third queen for Rex. Okay, so Rex is taking up a defensive stance. And Ragnarok, they both go Baneling Nest at the same time. Extra Overlord for Ragnarok. I think Ragnarok, no, he's droning up. He could go for some Ling Bane aggression, but if he wanted to do that, he probably wants to do it with these first two lava injects popping out. He's also building a third queen, so both players playing defensive for now. Neither one wants to get aggressive. Getting the extra queen this early, it means you want extra creep connecting your bases. You want to move out, start injecting your third. So it's usually a sign of defense. Despite that, Ragnarok's building 14, 16 Zerglings. And if he can keep these two Lings alive and morph Banes forward on the map, that would be amazing for him. Rex can hunt those down, though. Rex right now only has 6 Zerglings, so he's got to be a little cautious. He can't be too greedy. He's going to try and run these Lings in. Yeah, and there we go. He's just going to run past the queen. He sees a lot of Lings popping out. Good scouting for Rex. So immediately morphs his own Banelings. And I'd like to see him build a lot more Zerglings. He queues up more drones here. Very greedy play for Rex. If he can defend his third base and his natural, that'll be great. You could build a Roach Warren here to create a really tight choke point. But that third base under assault. Luckily, it's finished, so it's got that +1 armor now. One of his Banelings already went down. Rex with a huge mistake. Oh, no. And this Baneling's going to get taken down too. Oh, no. Luckily for him, Ragnarok doesn't have that many Lings, so he doesn't want to surround the queens. If he had enough Lings to surround the queens, it'd be game over right now. Lucky for Rex. Letting that first Baneling go off was a huge mistake, and the second Baneling should not have strayed so far from the queens. Despite that, no massive damage done, nothing like that. And Ragnarok's going to keep up a bit of Ling Bane pressure behind this. I'm not sure what his transition is. He's still holding down the Zergling key. Is he going to hide this and then flood out all at once? I don't know. Is he going to morph? Oh, he's going to go for lots of Banes, is he? Here we go. Lings and Banes. Okay, so Rex is trying to do a run by Rex building a Roach Warren. Ragnarok is going all in on Ling Bane right now, guys. He's doing nothing but massing Ling Bane. This is a crazy commitment for Ragnarok. Rex right now only has... He's got 5 Banelings, actually, which is pretty good for him. That's very good to have those Banelings already out there. You can see more Banelings on the front. Ragnarok going for a giant all-in Ling Bane attack. Rex comes forward, gets a decent detonation on the first Baneling. Nothing guarding the wall. There we go. He gets the queen in the wall, though. He's got to pull back to the front. The Baneling's doing a nice spready there. And, ooh, okay, Ling's doing all right. Drones are going to get cut off from the retreat. Ragnarok ready to burst on those, but he doesn't take the hit. The drone's doing a nice spready for Rex. Rex trying to build more Lings and Banes right now, but Ragnarok putting him in a spot of bother. These drones are going to be taking some pretty decent damage. Just not that many Lings coming in for Ragnarok is a big mistake. He's got so many Banes, but not that many Lings. One more Baneling there could be big. Rex has got Banelings everywhere. If he can take out these Lings, that'll be huge. Another Baneling goes off in a decent manner. This one on the left, oh, almost gets a big hit. Not quite, though. Good micro by Ragnarok. That queen's going to go down. Roaches are popping just barely in time. Ragnarok trying to click on that hatchery, but a transfuse goes down, and Ragnarok will not kill the third. Oh, that is actually really bad for him. I feel like Rex may have underestimated this push, but at the end of the day, if you don't kill the third, it's not that good for you. Uh-oh, he's going for it. Ragnarok's going for it. 22 Lings are on the map for him right now. He runs in with 16 of them. He's going to kill that base, but he will lose a bunch of units doing it, and he's already down 8 workers. He's putting a spine crawler behind this, so he's expecting to get counterattacked by Rex. But if Rex just rebuilds the hatchery, drones on up, I actually think he can maintain an economic advantage. Because look at this, Ragnarok's still massing Lings right now. So Ragnarok is expecting a half-cock counterattack, and he's just saying, if I make enough Lings, I can just surround this and use mobility to overwhelm you. Wow, Ragnarok with a dirty move. When +1 kicks in, this is not going to go well for him because the Roaches will two-shot the Lings. But right now, He's got momentum. He's got the unit count, and he swaps into his own roach play behind it. As I said, he doesn't really have an economic advantage. Only up, well, actually down 2 workers is Ragnarok, but it's just that he's got the 3rd hatchery mining without having to go long distance. The Lings are posturing around the left side. He's going to send more Lings down the right as well, but Rex has got good forward overlord, so he does catch glimpses of these units moving around. I don't know how well set up he'll be on the defense. Roach speed does start up along with an immediate +2 upgrade for Rex. Ragnarok starting to add some more drones. Ragnarok does have a 6-worker lead, so it feels like he is definitely ahead here. That 3rd hatchery still has not finished rebuilding. And Rex, he's on the back foot. Ragnarok, though, as an aggressive player, sometimes can be overly aggressive. He's mixing roaches and drones right now, unsure of how greedy he can be. And he's going to be far behind on the upgrades. So I actually think Rex, if he stops droning here, 55 workers, he could do a giant +2 roach all in. He's actually going to add a 2nd Evo. So Rex, he's scouting the main. He sees lots of gases, lots of drones. He's going to move out with roaches trying to scare Ragnarok. Behind this, he's got the 2nd Evo, which tells us he wants to get a carapace upgrade as well. I don't know if that's the most important. It definitely can help with a big roach army. He sees a lot of Lings coming by. He's going to have to send that Baneling back. Oh my god, this Baneling. Guys, watch this Baneling. Watch this Baneling. If he micros that to the left, he could blow these up. He could kill so many. Oh my god! Ah! Oh, it gets 1 Zergling. Oh my god, we hyped up nothing. Drones are getting annihilated on this base. That queen's going to go down. He's trying to shove with his roaches. I think Ragnarok might have him here. Ragnarok is going to go for the 3rd base here. He's going to focus that hatchery down. Great defensive position for Ragnarok, who's also trying to commit to Aspire right now. He's going to lose the 3rd hatchery yet again. Oh, these Lings being worth their weight in gold. He is up 5 roaches is Rex right now. He's got roach speed, which Ragnarok does not have. Kills a creep tumor there, but he's back on 2 bases right now. Is he all in? He's all in. He's literally just going. Rex is like, well, I just have to go. And actually, Ragnarok loses the spine crawler there. He should have... Oh, man, he's going to lose an overlord potentially as well. It does survive the first round of biles. If Rex can overwhelm, he's up 20 supply. Maybe he could do this. The Ravagers are in the open. Ooh, he gets one of them. The other one barely survives. Dodges the biles. Great moves by Rex. Remember, there's no roach speed for Ragnarok. Ragnarok's way ahead economically, but this is still a very scary attack, and a lot of Lings died sniping that hatch. Rex going for a vicious counterattack right now. He doesn't have +2, but he had to just go now. He knew now was when he had to fight. +2's going to kick in after the fight's over, but it's over in his favor, so it doesn't even matter. The Roach Ravager overwhelm here. Rex says, okay, you committed too many Lings. You may have killed my 3rd hatch twice, but I just have more roaches than you. You took too many bad army trades. You threw your army away to kill a hatchery multiple times, and I just have a bigger ball of roaches. My +2's now kicked in, and you cannot hold a candle to this force of Roach Ravager. A good decisive counterattack for Rex. This is fantastic play by Rex. The way he went in there, really well played. He knew, okay, I'm not going to come back in a longer game. I've got to go now. And guess what, guys? There's a finished Spire. But no chance to build mutas for Ragnarok. He gets killed by this. If he had 30 more seconds, I think this game is his. Maybe if his army was a bit better set up at the choke point, I think this game is his. If he didn't build those extra few drones, it might have been his. But you know what? Rex found the killer counterattack time. He's going to run in and smash through over the top. Rex with a surprise victory gets the Foreigner House within 1 point of winning round 1. Right, guys, going into a PvP, we've got the previous season's GSL finalist, Creator, from season 1. And Alpha X Estrella down here in the bottom of the map. It's a PvP on Moondance. This can get very vicious. This is one of the more aggressive maps because the rush distance is so short and there's no ramp on the natural. We see a lot of people go very aggressive. We used to see a lot of proxies in the back of the base and even cannon rush from the low ground. Super deadly. But I haven't seen too much of that recently as the players have all been checking for it. Now, of course, Creator representing Korea, Estrella hailing from San Diego, a Wales Hoochie. That's what that means in the original Dutch of the settlers that settled there. But yeah, no, he's very good. I would say Estrella is at times the best PvP player in the world. He actually checks for the cannon rush in the back. That's what he did. He moved his probe there to check the low ground. But at other times, Creator is just so rock solid, and the fact that he, really took the fight to Rogue in the Season 1 GSL Finals in a way which very few Protoss players can was massively impressive. It's PvP, I would say maybe not as strong as Creator's PvT and PvZ right now, obviously not as many top-level Protoss players in Korea at this stage. A lot of them are in the military right now, serving that service, the top dogs. Luckily, we do have Classic and a few others back. That's a 1-gate expand. Estrella's not even scouting, though. Estrella's like, I'm just doing a blind pylon in the corner of the map. Okay, so he's not proxying. He's faking a proxy, and then he's going to go scout. And he's going to see a very greedy 1-gate expand from Creator. Usually you try to defend here with like Void Rays and stuff like that, but I don't know, man. Does he build a battery on the high ground? Or is he still going to try and just build second pylon on the low ground? Interesting. And at this point, Creator's like, okay, I'm being proxied. Now, he should be looking to see if these gateways light up immediately. But Creator actually wasn't checking for it, which in my opinion is very lazy. Because he should have checked to see if there was actually a commitment to a proxy or not. He does see the probe come in, so he should know there's no proxy. Because of that, he can make that read potentially. And he's actually scouting, so he's not going to find it though. That's unfortunate, because he's going to go back this way and just barely miss that pylon. So Creator's looking for the proxy, doesn't know what's happening. He's chronoing Stalkers one at a time. He's going for a shield battery, but no second production facility. No robo, nothing like that. Stalker's coming out for Estrella here. I think he wanted to hunt that probe down. And ooh, it's just out of vision. Just out of vision, guys. And it does escape. Okay. So Estrella going for Stalker. He's got a Twilight Council on the way as well. Estrella's probe in the back does get taken down by Creator. Creator goes for a Stargate. That's interesting. That's kind of a late Stargate. So he's saying, let's chrono out 2 Stalkers and a battery and then go for the Stargate and the Oracle and that sort of stuff. But meanwhile, it's 3-gate blink for Estrella. He's got a Twilight Council and 3 gateways, so he's just going to go blink. This probe does get hunted down. Creator doesn't have any info. He has no idea if he's being all-in or not. Oh, forward pylon going up. If he sees that pylon, that's a huge tell. If he goes up to the right and sees it, that'd be big. But these Stalkers are about to arrive, and he can't leave the safety of the battery. Here we go. Stalkers going forward. Good micro for Creator. Gets a volley off. Nice focus fire. Lets the battery do a bit of healing. That's going to take much longer for Estrella to heal than it will for him. Warp gate's almost done. Blink is started up and being chrono boosted back at home by Estrella. Now, Estrella doesn't mind trading because he's got more damage here, but he doesn't want to lose too many hit points. Yeah, it's pretty good for Estrella, though. Gets off a volley and a half. Only 1 volley for Creator. Oracle's building for him. It's a 4th gateway on the front as well. Estrella's going hard on the 1 base blink all in. This is an all-in that Haas used to do. Creator, he doesn't have any scouting. He's trying to go Twilight Council. He thinks this is just a pressure. Oh, no. Creator, you need... Okay, he's building a Voider. I think he's realizing. He sees a 5th guy there. His Oracle flies out, sees the gateway. He's like, okay, more batteries, more Stalkers. So he's going to go up to 5 Stalkers all off 1 gate. So he's actually being very consistent on his Stalker production. Actually, he whoops in a Zealot to save gas so he can make more Void Rays. Doesn't have the gas to build a Robo, though, which is normally what you want here. Oracle comes in, grabs 1, 2, only 2 probes. No real game-changing damage. Did at least force a recall at home, though. Blink will be done in 20 seconds. Now, there's no way to spot the high ground for Estrella unless he makes an Adept and shades it up the ramp. So he's just going to try and focus down these structures. Gets a shield battery that's building. Very nicely done. Blink's done in 4 seconds. Gets a probe there as well. Any pickoff he can get like that is amazing. And look at that. Grabs a Stalker. Blinks away. The Void Ray comes a little bit far forward. You got to be careful here as Creator. Oh, man, that's a massive damage advantage for Estrella. Hasn't lost any units yet. Very defensive micro of him. He's just focused on preserving his units. But look at that. He comes in. Oh, gets another Stalker. Uh-oh. Blink, not able to go down. So he loses his first Stalker, but he's already killed 2 Stalkers, 4 probes of Creator. And most of that energy is gone. Battery overcharge goes down, but not before one of the Stalkers falls. Creator is on his last leg. Stasis Trap does go down. Good pull by Estrella. Handles that just right. Blinks forward. Snaps a Void Ray. Snaps another Void Ray. The 15 Stalker Blink. He knows his numbers. He knows how to do it just right. And Estrella realizes when you hit that magic number of 15 Stalkers, you can one-shot the Void Rays and you don't care about those shield batteries. Beautiful play by Estrella. Seals the deal. And Estrella, Rex, Reynor, Scarlett get the 3-1 victory over Team Korea. And that gives them a 1-0 advantage in round 2. What a lovely series. GG, well played. Hold that thought. Actually, there's one more match, guys. They have to play every match here for this one. We've got Knights in the top right side of the map going up against Beyond in the top left. Let's see if the Koreans, they're still fighting for pride in this one. They are still fighting to show that, oh, come on, we're not going to get 4-1'd by a bunch of these silly foreigners. Of course, Nice, just like Rex, also hails from Taiwan. Beyond, of course, the Korean beast. The man that won the 2016 World Championship. He won GSL, then the World Championship in a row without having a team at the time. Practicing on his own, in his own house. And something where a lot of people said, oh, you can't win a Korean tournament, you know, on your own. You need to be in that team house. You need practice partners and teammates in there and coaches helping you out. But Bjorn said, no, no, no. And so I think there's a part of me that says, hey, he almost went the way of the foreigner, you know, the lone wolf out there, where you'd be the one guy in Sweden or, you know, the one guy in France that was really competing at a tip-top level at that time. Bjorn kind of was isolated for a little bit there in the scene. These days, though, repping Shopify Rebellion, kicking butts. And he does really enjoy his TVP on this map. So I expect a command center down here, no scout, and Reaper maybe to poke across the map. That's usually what Bjorn goes for. He absolutely adores the in-base expansion. Has a very good win rate on this map. It's going to be a Marine Orbital. Okay, not bad, not bad. There we go. Command center goes down. He's already mined 5 minerals off that. Very nice. Speaking of nice, no scout opening. Greedy lad. Not really that greedy. Cybercore first. Does go for the 20 supply second gas, so he just wants to get that gas mining as quick as possible. Not a bad way of doing it. And as the Cybercore finishes, I would expect an early Adept to get chronoed over. Stargate's pretty effective in general. On this map, Phoenix Plate does not scale too well into the later stages due to the fact that they can drop across such a wide front into your main. It's hard to cover this entire area, especially if you lose control of the watchtower. You really don't know where those drops are going to come from. But Marine goes out, scouts the gold base. Bjorn's favorite build on this map. Likes to check the gold with a Marine, going into a reactor as well as a factory behind it. Does he continue across to scout? Let's take a look. So he's queued it to A move all the way into the enemy natural. Nice going across with an Adept. He's got a Stalker, a Shield Battery, and now a Twilight Council going down. Pretty conservative build for Nice. The Shield Battery in the main as well, basically allowing his Adept and Stalker to pressure without any fear of a Reaper jumping in the main. Stalker might just hang out here and defend the natural, though. Adept is going to poke up that ramp. Let's see what he sees. Just standard things. Nothing to be worried about. And indeed, there we go. Hangs on out. Marine runs in. Stalker says, get out of here, mate. Barely damaging a probe. No real effective damage. Hellion has built as well as 2 Marines. They could easily defend this. But it looks like Bjorn doesn't want to show those units. I think he wants to pop 2 Marines out and seal the kill. So he says, look, Nice, you're staying here too long. Nice, you got to get out, bro. Nice is staying way too long. Oh, he gets the Adept Shade in. He actually baits him. Gets a scout on what looks like a Widow Mine drop. Okay. So the moment that Adept Shade gets cancelled, Bjorn builds a tech lab. He's like, okay, I'm not going to go Widow Mine drop anymore. He's just going to do a 6 Marine mine drop and then go for the tech lab. We can, of course, see Ravens, tanks, all that sort of stuff. Nice is building a nice, a lovely little wall off there. 3-gate blink, 4-gate blink is going to be the play. This is also a map where there's good drop area. There's also massive blink area. There is so much ground to cover defensively on your 2 base. So definitely something where blink can be utilized to great effect. The Hellion's going to try and dart in. Seeing all 3 gateways at the front is a huge scout. So Nice does kind of give the information away with this building placement. Makes things a little bit easier for Bjorn to realize what's happening. I like the way he just threads through the vision there. The Observer does see it. There's only 2 Stalkers and an Adept out right now. And here we go. Okay, he's going to try and focus on some of these units. That Widow Mine is going to set up above the ramp. The Stalkers have a Shield Battery to fall back on. No point fighting into that for Bjorn. He's just going to back away. That was a really mature decision for Bjorn there. We've got a tank on the way. Raven building. Second barracks is almost finished as well. Stalkers moving on forwards. Third gas is on the way right now. And what do we got? Hellion at the front. Marine Widow Mine drop moving south. Third barracks is going to be building right after the second barracks. Even using the same SCV. Normally something you only see noobs do, but Bjorn apparently had that timed out perfectly. Man, this is a cute little Stalker pressure moving over. The Warp Prism's there as well. Leaving 6 Marines in a Widow Mine on the other side of the map. I mean, that could be game-ending damage where you just kill his whole mineral line. Could also mean you don't quite have the numbers you need at home to survive. Uh-oh. He's about to get blinked on. That tank isn't sieged. Uh-oh. Okay, he does siege it up now. Nice. Might dive on that, though. Siege tank gets a shot off. Every shot is huge in this sort of scenario. Look at that. Nice Marine Widow Mine drop counterattack. Bjorn causing some damage. I mean, so is Nice. They're both taking a fair bit of damage right now. That whole natural being evicted, though, definitely big. I'm surprised Bjorn hasn't moved forward yet with this siege tank. I think he has to. but he's obviously afraid right now. A second tank comes down. He's playing it very carefully. His drop does pick up and move into the main base now. The shield battery, though, buying a lot of time. Doesn't focus fire on it. The battery will run out of energy momentarily. No battery overcharge just yet. Nice. Needs to drop that overcharge. He's not doing so. The Raven comes forward. Does get sniped. Beautiful Prism Micro for Nice. Nice picking off a whole bunch of those Marines. There we go. Battery overcharge does go down. 9 workers have fallen. And that has to be a good trade for Beyond. But it's not over till it's over. One of the tanks did fall, as did a couple of the Stalkers. This drop is very fragile. I doubt he goes back in with that. If Nice can find some more damage, he could still turn this into a good position. But right now, his economy sucks. And oh no! Nice blinks at his Stalkers and just gets annihilated. He warps in a few more Stalkers in the back door. Does start getting a bit more damage, but I think he's taken way too much now. This is a huge problem. The Stalker Adept only getting 2 SCVs. The Marine drop goes back in. Finally, Nice finds a bit of value, cleaning that up with 4 Marines still inside. But that blink on the front was a disaster. Nice now trailing by 13 workers. And there's 2 tanks. Good pack of Marines out. Stim +1 are on the way. 3 barracks are up. Turrets even building on his bases just to make sure he doesn't die to DTs or anything like that. Tanks are sieged in a good position. Oh, he gets both depots. Good micro by Nice. Gets some value. But, I mean, he's full walled in on 2 base, right? He doesn't have the option of taking a third. He's going to do a 2 base, unupgraded charge zealot all in by the looks of it. And that's a very uninspiring play against the guy who's just massing units off 3 racks. Looks like an Adept ran in there. Did end up getting gunned down. Third command center is good to go down for Beyond. He's happy to just chill out. He does take it from the natural. Guess the natural's oversaturated. Still delays the command center a fair bit. And look at that tank spread. Oh, that is a tank line you don't want to mess with. Covering all the areas all the way up to here. Command center even almost like blocks the blink in. To be fair, that could get sniped from the low ground though. So he's moving another tank up in the main. Scan goes down. You see a fully walled in 2 base Protoss, and you do not feel a single little bit of fear. Yeah, this is a desperate position to be in for Nice. 15 Stalkers, 17 Stalkers. My God, is this a mass blink all in? You know what? There's no bio helping cover the natural. He could kill this tank very quickly, but I think that other tank will do so much damage in return. He scans the gold. Beyond's just like, oh, you're literally so all in, aren't you? You don't have a gold base. Your natural's walled in. Like, come on, man. There's nothing for me to worry about in this game. Meanwhile, Nice is like, one more warp in and let's go. He's adding probes, a gas, and a DT shrine when behind Desperation Shrine. Ugh. Here we go. Stalkers on the right side. Couple Zealots and Stalkers warping in. Stalker on the front there. Hanging on out. 4 Zealots in the Prism. He could drop those on top of the tanks to lead. So I think he's waiting for Beyond to move out. He thinks Beyond's moving out the front. But then Beyond pulls back. So he's like, oh, I can't go in. I need you to be moving out. He wants Beyond's army to move out here. And then he's going to jump in the back door and look for massive damage. His Observer sees one of the tanks moving. That Observer just barely out of vision. Here we go. He's going to go for it. He drops the Zealots in. Does get the siege tank, but the bio's nearby. The tanks are sieging on the high ground. Very quick reaction with the stim bio. 10 SCVs fall, but does it matter? He's killing so many of these Protoss units that are irreplaceable. Remember, it's a tiny Protoss economy in this game. Terran economy is still way ahead. There's tanks covering everywhere. Oh my God, and the bio's just stimming after them. He's like, yeah, I don't even care. I can just stim on your face. A massive squad on that side as well. I mean, this might be an overextension for Beyond at this point. That looks like the first, maybe decent fight for Nice. Stim Marauders are very scary units, but can't chase into the siege tanks. And that is a problem for Nice, who's only now taking his in-base third. He's got to transfer these guys to long-distance mine. Remember, 1-1 upgrades will be finished here. Mass Marine Marauder tank. Only 9 Marauders, 8 Marines, actually. So not the best bio count for Beyond. Army supply is kind of similar. If Beyond gets a bit sloppy, there is a chance for Nice. All right, 2 Stalkers go down. Make it 3, make it 4. Definitely would need a siege tank on this low ground. The fact that Beyond doesn't have a tank down here, making this harder for himself than it probably needs to be. Nice blink forward from Nice. If Nice could kill the 3rd command center, it would be big. But that is, of course, very unlikely. The Observer goes down. That pack of Marine Marauder doing good. I like that the Prism is just going to fly in and try and drop Zealots on a tank. That is hilarious and effective. The Zealot does take out the siege tank. Wow, Zealot for a tank. That's a trade a Protoss player will take any day. Unfortunately for Nice, no upgrades, no splash damage. Desperation Dark Shrine hasn't been able to do anything because there's turrets everywhere, so he hasn't even shown that he's got the DT tech. Stalker's trying to go in. They get an SCV or two. Blink back to safety. He's looking for more units. Oh, no. He drops DTs on top of him. Scan, and that is absolutely toasted. The DT drop goes down. The Stalker's on the front, desperately looking for damage. Nice is hunting for a mistake. And Beyond is just like, dude, all I need to do is build units and defend. Keep macroing and defend. And we see a Forge starting at 11 minutes in the game. Now, this is the situation where I really feel like Nice should not make any upgrades. If you're this far behind, your best bet to come back is to go 6 gas, Storm, and Colossus at the same time. Like, you want to get Storm, Colossus, just build splash damage units and nothing else. And preserve your Stalkers, and maybe you can make a comeback. Oh, no, he blinks into Tank Marine Marauder. Oh, God, stop it. Oh, Protoss players, avert your eyes. This is absolutely painful, dude. This is absolutely painful, man. Oh, dude. These missile torrents are just denying the DTs, guys. The missile torrents. Oh, God. Yeah, I think this lead is just it's a chasm too far. Beyond's not going to be able to bridge this one. Yeah, there's not even a single Z-Lot on the map, you know, guys. No money to make Archons. Ghost did go down there, a cute little snipe, but the triple drop on the north could be incredibly effective. He's just picked up his Zealots from the Watchtower. He's going to warp in one more to make sure he maintains that vision. No recall available. Oh, no. Nice is about to see a drop, and he's like, oh, no, I don't have recall on that base. He could recall to a different one, but he's reacting kind of slowly. Oh, no. Oh, no. He thinks about going in for the counterattack, but it's like, dude, just way too outnumbered. The double Forge goes down. Beyond is like, I told you I'd fight for Korean pride. These other idiots did not hold up the flag. Ragnarok dropping a game to Rex. How dare you? And he says, I will finish off this series. Yes, we may still lose and be down 1 point in the next map, in the next round, but at least I've fought for Korean pride, and I've shown that we are still the absolute monsters. Foreigner House doing pretty well, though, to win this first round. It's been pretty incredible. I like that Nice shows a good bit of battle in him, but definitely a scenario where Beyond was just so far ahead after those early interactions. That drop, leaving it on the other side of the map, a risky maneuver, but it got devastating damage and sealed the victory. Beyond does win the map, but the Foreigner team take down the Koreans in the first round. Well done.